I mean, I'm kind of flabbergasted. The the Georgia Guidestones have been destroyed. I'm I'm not gonna lie. Think of the Guidestones what you will. Whether they were an Illuminati trophy, whether they were a monument to the New World Order, or whether they were satanic or godly or or just a structure to guide humanity after an apocalypse. I'm saddened. It's a huge part of conspiracy lore is gone. And honestly, probably going to be replaced with, another, but it's the physical, tangible object is gone. Now, not to show my hand here or too much, I tend to agree with a lot of what the Georgia Guidestones say. For those that don't know, back in 1979, a man named Robert C. Christian went to the Elberton Granite Finishing Company. And Robert C. Christian, of course, not his real name. And he commissioned the structure. It was, God, that hurts to say. It was 19 feet, 3 inches tall, made from 6 granite slabs, weighed just over, well, actually well over 237,000 pounds. America's Stonehenge. And it gave, in several languages, guides for a new world if civilization crumbled. And let's face it, it's going to. It's happened before. Rome fell, Egypt fell. Guess what? This civilization we're in, it's on a timer. Whether we do it to ourselves or an asteroid strike or a plague, I think we all know that can happen. This was meant to be left behind so that people could rebuild. And it was to act like a Rosetta Stone. You had all these languages. So if a language was lost, you could figure it out based on here, oh, I don't know English, but I know Arabic. Oh, this means the same thing on each one of these stones. So the languages on this were English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, Russian. And the inscriptions read, and I'm going to start with the third one. I'll explain why here in a second. Number 3 was unite humanity with a new living language. Okay. Something that we can all easily communicate in. That okay, we don't need translators for. I know the intricacies of this. You know the intricacies of this. Beautiful. I approve. Rule passion, faith. Number 4, by the way. Rule passion, faith, traditions, and all things with tempered reason. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You have to approach things logically. But you can be passionate about it, but not so passionate that it destroys things around you. You have to have faith, but not so faithful that you start to hate those around you. I mean, Westboro Baptist Church, you have to be traditional, but not so traditional that you start to hate those around you. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. We all want a fair shake with law. We all want, if we find ourselves in court, we all want the judge up there to be beyond reproach. Totally fine with that. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. No more war, right? Your nation, you rule it as you like, but if you got beef with another nation, you don't go to war. People don't have to die. You take it to the world court. Nothing wrong with that. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. God, we can all get behind that. 8, balance personal rights with social duties. I'm for that. 9, prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Well, that's some straight up nirvana Zen stuff right there. Number 10, be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. And boy, we've just about destroyed this planet. I'm sorry, I'm kind of riled up about this. I'm letting a lot of personal beliefs out on this video. But this is the way I feel. Global warming is a thing. I don't know if we're causing it. Probably. It's kind of impressive, actually. We've only had the industrial age for, 250 years? We've almost destroyed the planet. And there are scientists out there who say we're not. Same scientists that said lead gasoline was fine. And look at what happened with that in the 60s and 70s. Serial killers around everything because the lead in the Earth's environment was driving everybody insane. The intelligence level has dropped. We are still suffering the ill effects of leaded gasoline. But here's the two. Number 1 and 2. These are the ones that people don't like. Number 1, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. 500 million people. Right now we have 7 billion people. And a lot of people are saying, well, that means we need to kill. We need to kill enough. We need to kill 6.5 billion people. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that at all. This may seem like a long time. And quite frankly, I personally believe 7 billion people is too many. It's a strain upon this planet. Number 1, if every 2 people that get together have just 1 child, we can reach, do the math, we can reach that 500 million mark in about, and I know this seems like a long time, 250 to 300 years. It's not that long of a time. It's a blink in the eye. Yeah, we won't live to see it. I'm not planning to live 250 years. But a lot of people take that to mean we need to kill off 6.5 billion people on this planet. There's nowhere it says that. In fact, number two says guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Kind of eugenicsy. I'm going to be the first one to admit that. Kind of eugenicsy. But, we have to remember the people that made these weren't perfect. It was a different time. But for the most part, this was meant to restore humanity after an apocalypse. And it was America's Stonehenge. It was something cool to go see. It was a mystery right there for all of us. And it was astronomical, just like the real Stonehenge. There was, if you look through the horizontal slot in it, that indicated the annual travel of the sun. And it was all explained. It was all explained right there at the Guidestones. It was an engineering marvel. It was, I hesitate to use the word paranormal, but I will call it this. It was a conspiracy icon. It was right there. It was right there. And it was beautiful. Just a few days ago, July 6, 2022, around 4 a.m., somebody blew up the Swahili Hindi language slab, and then the remaining stones had to be toppled with a backhoe for safety reasons. We have footage of the bombing. It honestly looks to me. My dad was military, for whatever that's worth. But it honestly looks like me that somebody shot this with tannerite. It exploded. You can kind of see to the lower left. You can see this orange flash, and that flash kicks up a little bit of dust, right? Destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Now, there are those out there that are calling this an act of God. One of them, Georgia Republican gubernatorial primary candidate, Candace Taylor, who's called the stones all sorts of things, none of it good. They're calling it an act of God. Now, to save face, she said that if it was vandalism, stone didn't explode itself, that those people should be brought to justice. It really just lip service to save face, in my opinion. I honestly wonder if the city of Alberton is going to thrive after this. I'm not saying it's going to fall or topple or anything like that, but the Guidestones brought in 20,000 annual visitors. And their wallets. Let's be honest about it. It brought in money to Alberton. This is sad. This is sad. And instead of sitting down, the people who blew this up, the people claiming that these were satanic, instead of sitting down and talking about it, we had to resort to violence. Now, are the stones satanic? Are the Guidestones a monument to eugenics and the New World Order? Maybe. Maybe. But the last I checked, we lived in America. We were allowed to say what we wanted to say on our own property. We were allowed to express our opinions, which is what I'm doing now. Wherever you fall down on this, I want you to keep this thought in the back of your head. A lot of people deemed the Georgia Guidestones a curse, a plague upon the earth. But those rules were there, not for us now, but for humans to use to rebuild after an apocalypse. We looked upon it as a curse. But what we may have just done is take a gift that was going to save humanity, to save the existence of humans on this planet, and we destroyed it. I'd like to hear what you think. Please leave your comments over on the YouTube channel. If you're not on the YouTube channel, head over to YouTube, Strange Pathways. Leave your comments down below. Agree with me, disagree with me. I don't care. I just want to get a dialogue started. That's all I want. I want to get a dialogue started. So, once again, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.